Hi there, it's Meredith Hurston with Reese Travel Group, and welcome. I'm so glad that you're here and interested in knowing more information about our upcoming Ghana trip. So, if you were not able to attend us when we did our information session on New Year's Day when it was live, I had a little bit of technical difficulty with the recording, so I had to re record it for you. So, I apologize in the delay in getting it out to you. But we're going to get right into the information session and our travel plan. So, why travel with us? That is a great question. So I am excited to let you know that I will be the group leader for this trip. I will be hosting this trip along with our tour guide from Green Book Travel. And that's helpful because I'm an experienced international traveler. I've been to 18 countries and counting. I have a couple of more countries on my agenda for this year. So I've been to, I think, three different continents. So I have some experience with, getting around, and I'll be able to, assist you with your pre-trip planning and, helping you get questions answered with the visa process and any other questions that you might have as it pertains to this Ghana trip. And so when you travel with us, again, we offer trip planning concierge services. We're going to have a couple of pre-trip meetings so that you'll get a chance to get acquainted with some of the other people that are going to be traveling with us. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions, and we're going to provide you with information that you'll need to know about the trip. And also, we partner with highly rated tour operators to offer the trips that we bring to you. So that's another reason that you travel with us. We offer reputable tours, and want to have it as be a as carefree and easy breezy process as possible. We'll do all the planning for you, so all you have to do is show up and enjoy. All right, so why Ghana? Ghana is a country, I call it the gateway to Africa. I had the opportunity to travel to Ghana in December of 2019. And if you're familiar with the year of return, 2019 marked 400 years of when the transatlantic slave trade began, which was in 1619. So Ghana had a really long or a really big year long celebration in honor and recognition of the transatlantic slave trade and what it meant and how they chose to, I guess, memorialize that event was by having the year of return. So they invited folks from the diaspora to come back to Ghana, to, come back to our homeland of Africa to see and experience Ghana and the culture and the people and learn, some of the history of the country. So, with that, with going to Ghana, you have the opportunity to connect to your ancestral roots because most Black Americans have, roots in West Africa. And so this is an opportunity to kind of see where we come from. We may not all necessarily come from Ghana, but I feel like Ghana is a great country that has a lot of, Western infrastructure in place that will feel, somewhat comfortable for us as we, get introduced to the continent of Africa because so many of us have not been there. We might have trepidations and fears. So I think this is a great, first introduction to the continent and will have you wanting to explore other places on the continent. And also, you'll be creating memories with your family, and if you travel with family, and also with the new friends that you'll make on the trip. And last but not least, is you'll capture some amazing photos. You'll see some beautiful things, and you'll be able to capture them in photos. And I found this quote when I came across this quote in my internet travels by Ernest Hemingway, and it resonated with me. I never knew a morning in Africa when I woke up and I was not happy. When I had the opportunity to visit Ghana, it was so exciting. It's just a feeling I can't explain. You just feel like you're home. That's the best way I can explain it. I felt comfortable. It wasn't I wasn't in the minority. Ghana is a black country, so it felt good to be home. So let's get into some important information that we need to know about our trip. So our tour dates for this particular trip are going to be November 5th through 12th. We're going to be in country. So that means that you'll be arriving into Accra Kotoka International Airport. And one thing to note is that airfare is not included in this particular group trip. So you'll need to purchase your airfare separately, and we can assist you with we can make some recommendations and help you with that. Travel insurance is required in order to travel with us on this trip. And we do recommend that you get the cancel for any reason insurance, and that should be purchased within 17 days, or I'm sorry, not 17, 14 days of paying your deposit. And it's really just, good to have travel insurance so that you protect your investment. And, you never know what comes up. You may have to work, or, you may come down with the illness, or something may happen with a family member, and you just wouldn't want to lose your investment for unforeseen circumstance at the last moment. So let's get into some frequently asked questions. Just to touch on again, airfare is not included. Um, when do you need to be in Ghana? So you will need to arrive into Accra, which is Kotoka International Airport, by the 5th of November of 2023. And you would want to arrange your airfare to depart anytime after, on or November the 12th. Do we accept payment plans? Absolutely, we do. When you make your deposit, when you go into our booking system and make your deposit, it will give you a breakdown of your payment plans that are available, and when, the dates and the amount of payment that would be due. Next question is, are there any vaccinations required? And yes, at the time of this recording, which is, what is today? Today is January 5th. At the time of this recording, yellow fever vaccination is required, as well as being fully vaccinated against COVID-19. So that could change on the COVID requirement. I'm not certain, but as of today, yellow fever and COVID vaccines are required. Do I need a visa to visit Ghana? And yes, you do. A tourist visa is required, and you can secure that through the nearest Ghanaian embassy to you. That could be, I think we have two here in the U.S. That could either be Washington, D.C. or Houston. And we can, during the pre-trip meetings, we'll go into more detail about the tourist visa process. Another question we get is Ghana an English-speaking country? And yes, it is. English is one of the national languages of Ghana, in addition to a whole bunch of other native dialects that are spoken there, like Tree, Ga, Akan. And there's a whole bunch of like regional, languages that are spoken in Ghana, but English is a national language. Are meals included in this tour? And yes, most of the meals are included. It will indicate on the itinerary where meals are not included. Another question we get is how much physical activity is required. And I would say that moderate physical activity is required. Some of the historic sites that we're going to be visiting will be a little bit of walking. You may have to climb some stairs or go down some like inclines, but it's not going to be anything excessive. But I would classify it as moderate activity. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email us at hello@reesetravelgroup.com, and we will get into the daily itinerary. So for day one, we're going to be arriving into Accra on a Sunday. When you arrive into the airport after you clear customs, we'll have a transfer service that will pick you up and transfer you to our hotel where we're going to be staying. You'll have some time to, relax and refresh, maybe take a nap. And then we're going to have a welcome reception the first evening there. And our accommodation is going to be at the African Regent Hotel. And on day two, that's where we're going to begin our tour. We're going to be doing a city tour of Accra. We're going to be stopping by the Art Center, Black Star Square, the W.B. Du Bois Center, Jamestown, and Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. And again, where our accommodation for that evening is going to be at the African Regent Hotel. Moving on to day three, we are going to be departing Accra for Kumasi, and we are going to be going to the Ashanti region of Ghana. That's the seat of the Ashanti Kingdom, which is Kumasi. We'll be visiting Manchia Palace as well as the National Cultural Center, and our accommodation for that evening is going to be at the Golden Tulip Hotel or a similar hotel. For day four, we are going to be having a full day experience in Kumasi. We are going to be visiting the Kente Weaving Village. We're going to be stopping by an Adinkra cloth village to show you how the cloths are stamped and created. We'll be visiting the National Cultural Center, and our accommodation for that evening will be at the Golden Tulip Hotel. And on day 5, we are going to be departing from Kumasi and moving on to Cape Coast. And this is where we're going to begin our Sankofa experience. We're going to start out at Asamanso Slave River site, and then we're going to be moving on to Cape Coast Castle or Slave Dungeon, however you would like to refer to it. And this is going to be, I would say, a pretty impactful day. It might feel, emotionally heavy. So at the end of this day, our accommodation is going to be at the Lemon Beach Resort. So you'll have some time in the evening to just kind of reflect on the day's activities and relax and sit with that moment. Moving on to day 6, we're going to continue our Sankofa experience, and we're going to be going out to one of the villages to visit with some of the locals and see some of the royals. And that day, we're going to be having our naming ceremony, and we're going to have a traditional celebration in the village with the local people there. And again, our accommodation will be at the Lemon Beach Resort. And moving on to day 7, we will be traveling back to Accra, and the remainder of this day, you're going to have free time to explore the city. If you want to stop by the markets, if there's, a restaurant that you'd like to try for lunch or something like that, if there are any other sites that you wanted to see that we didn't stop by on the tour, you'll have an opportunity to do them on this day around the greater Accra region. And then on the evening of our the 7th day, we're going to be having our farewell dinner. And our accommodation will be back at the African Regent Hotel. And moving into day 8, you'll have more free time to explore if you wish, depending on the time of your flight to return home, or, if you're going on to a different destination. You will have time to explore the city if your flight is not earlier in the day. A lot of times, if you're going back to the U.S., usually those flights are later in the evening, sometimes at night. So you may have the full day to kind of explore on your own. And then you will depart at the end of that day, depart to go home or on to your next adventure. So that concludes the itinerary. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to email us at hello@reachtravelgroup.com. And if you are ready to book, you can go to bit.ly RCE Ghana. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video as well. You can go right to our booking system and pay your deposit. And we look forward to welcoming you on this journey to West Africa, to see the country of Ghana, to see all the beautiful people, the culture, and just to take it all in and experience it. I look forward to hosting you. And if you have any questions, you can drop them below this video or feel free to email us. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.